Hello, CBM Junkies. Chad Miller here with Comic Book Movie Reports. So I want to talk a little bit about the Doctor Strange trailer. I found it to be a very, very interesting trailer, and it's really hyped me up for this film. And as I mentioned in the last episode, Marvel does a really good job of taking characters that I personally really haven't cared about and made them really tremendously awesome. I mean, if you take a look at the very beginning of the MCU with Iron Man, who knew, right? And then to take characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, I mean, they have a really good track record of making these characters wonderful, relatable, and just supremely awesome. So with this trailer, I was really, really excited to see some aspects that made it super trippy. Yes, there was quite a bit of controversy with taking on the images of Inception and kind of going on with that aspect of it, but overall the trailer is really, really awesome. And I've been hearing things that this film actually kicks off the MCU. So it's going to be a timepiece probably at some point in time, and maybe, you know, does interject into the current continuity. But this, I guess, is supposed to be the film that really kicks off the MCU instead of, say, like Iron Man 1. So I've also been hearing a lot of controversy about the role of Rachel McAdams, and this is what I really think about Rachel McAdams. I find her to be very similar to Helen Hunt and, say, even like Meg Ryan. Actors who continually play the same role in practically every movie that they do. I do think that Rachel McAdams is a fine actor, but I'm tired of seeing her as Rachel McAdams, and I don't know how well that's going to come across here in this movie. It all remains to be seen. I do not think that there's going to be any sort of development for her to become anything other than the scorned love of Stephen Strange after he has his accident, and then maybe, you know, once he comes into his powers and whatnot, he kind of searches her out to, you know, fall in love again. I don't know. But anyways, not too excited about Rachel McAdams in this movie. I'm really digging the special effects in this, and especially the hand gestures and how that parlays into visualizing and making the visual effects seem really grounded in what they're doing. One other likeness I would have to say to compare that to is what Elizabeth Olsen has done with the character of Scarlet Witch in the Avengers: Age of Ultron, as well as Captain America: Civil War. The finger gestures, the hand movements, I know she's likened it to a little bit of choreography. And I'm seeing a lot of that getting carried through with Doctor Strange, and I think that's a great step to go. So that way it's not just a visual effect on screen that doesn't seem fully realized by the actor. So that's a really good touch. I really enjoyed that. And like I said before, I really love the trippiness of it, and maybe I don't know how well that's going to play for the time period of the movie, if it actually does start out in the past and eventually comes to live out in the current time frame of the MCU or not. I think there's a lot of potential there to do that. Now, as far as the cast goes, I couldn't be more excited for this cast. Benedict Cumberbatch, who we also get to see shirtless in this trailer, he's a phenomenal actor, and I'm really excited that he's part of the MCU, and especially as Stephen Strange. Not knowing much about the character of Doctor Strange, I know enough of him, but I just felt that casting was totally perfect. And, you know, of course, then you get, you know, heavyweights like, you know, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, and Mads Mikkelsen thrown in to this mix, and it's just gonna, I think this movie is gonna put a different spin on the MCU, which it really drastically needs, and it's gonna be one of my most anticipated Marvel films that is coming up. So there's also been talks that the Infinity War is going to be actually made into one film instead of two. I'm not sure how I feel about that. As a movie lover, especially going to the theater, I've gotten to the point where I don't have a beverage anymore because I don't want to have to get up to use the restroom. And as these movies continually get longer and longer, how are we going to be able to sit through a 4 to 5 hour movie without needing a potty break? So I'm not sure if that's what the intention is just to make one really long, epic movie, or if they're just gonna shorten it down and cut out some key aspects, or what's going on. No clue. I'm kind of troubled by that, and maybe they'll change their minds. Who knows? So, Comic Book Movie Report would like to give a shout out to our friends at the Ken and Mark Show. This is an interesting podcast, and they also have a Facebook page that you can check out with the links that I'm providing here for you. Check them out, they are amazing. Who knows, there could be some collaboration at some point in time, who knows, but we just want to give a shout out to them because they are awesome. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Comic Book Movie Report. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Love and light to you all. We would also like you to check out our Patreon page. It is patreon.com/InOurLives2016. Your support there also goes to help this show as well as Film Geek Maniac and In Our Lives. We appreciate all the support generated thus far. Love and light to you all.